And here is the BP Ultimate Grid. And David Hoppen and Christina Orr. No, your eyes don't deceive you. This is the reverse grid race. And in the second row, John Whelan. He's got the car repaired. And Darren Henderson.
It's a great effort by John Whelan's team to get that fixed. Hayden McKenzie and Paul Manuel, who's had an absolute shocker this weekend. Row 3. And then row 4, Nick Ross, Clark Proctor, the man we were looking at earlier. Row 4.
Yes, those attack sunnies on. Dale Williams and John Hepburn, 10 and 9 on the grid. As we move down, we get to the faster cars, John Petty and Simon Richards.
Following those two, Andrew Anderson, who's had an average weekend, been quite quick in that Commodore ahead of his teammate, Andy Booth.
Just when they start to get it together, they go further down the grid. Kane Scott and Andy Knight on the next row. And behind them, we've got Eddie Bell and Tim Edgell.
The last couple of rows, Angus Fogg and Craig Baird. Ding-dong battles going on between these two. And, of course, all alone on the last row, 1-2 races so far today, John McIntyre.
Right, this is the final race for the BNT V8s, the final race of the day here on 3. It's been a superb day at Teretonga. The lights are green, and we are go. The rolling start, and it's Hopper and Orr out front, but look for big attacks as the fast guys try to get through.
Here we go, Craig Baird down the outside of Fogg. He's looking to go 3 wide here, Andy Knight. Fogg moving all over the place, in and out. It's tight stuff, round turn 1 for the first time. No one wants to lose out, no one wants to be turned around, but you want to make the biggest gain you can earlier on while the field is compact like they are now. So far, so good. Everyone's still in one piece.
Especially John Whelan, way away from the dirt this time.
It's impressive to have that car back in the field, I must say. A bit of touching going on here. Kane Scott just ahead. There's Paul Manuel sitting in 4th position. They all feed through turn 5 pretty clean. There's Tim Edgell running a little wide. Craig Baird seems to have lost a position. Johnny Mack come through, has made a couple of spots early on this lap. There's Kane Scott up the inside of Andy Booth. Still struggling with that Big Ben Commodore.
It's Clark Proctor getting a bit of treatment there from John Hepburn.
Great camera shot there at the side of the car. Looking at Hepburn, these two drag racing down the front straight. Paul Manuel looking to improve up to 3rd position. He'll be, as Whelan runs wide, he's got a bit of a phobia going on. Oh, there we go. There's some big touching going on the inside. Whelan being turned around. John Penny, stay away from the wall.
No.
Not the way that wanted to end by any means. He's hooked to reverse. The car's in a lot better shape than what it was after the last time he hit the fence. This was always going to end in tears.
But it just had to be John Whelan, didn't it? I spoke to a bunch of blokes that have come down from Dunedin to support their local driver today, and they said it hadn't been a flash day. Well, he got back on the track and it just got worse.
And that all started going into 1. He ran a bit deep, got the rear end of that car a little bit loose. Paul Manuel got underneath him, and then it all went wrong from there. Paul Manuel down the outside into 1. He's looking for a way past Christine Orr. He wants to get as big a lead as he possibly can. Get to the front and extend it. Christine Orr doing a good job up the front. Hayden McKenzie in 3rd. Darren Henderson 4th. There's still a lot of action going on here as Clark Proctor's getting hit from one side of the track to the other. There's Andy Booth, I think, slicing through into turn 2. Everyone very tight. A lot more panel damage going on this race than the last 2 we've had, as the fast guys at the back trying to get through to the front.
What a great sight that is, the home-built grandstands. They bring their own to the track, the cars in front, reverse grid. It doesn't get any more special than a great day in the south, does it?
Well, I tell you, they have been entertained all day. Angus Fogg finding a way through. There's some big hits going on here. Cars going off everywhere out of turn 5. I would imagine there's going to be some smoke and some tyres rubbing on some guards after that. Tim Edgell. Well, Tim Edgell's got a lot of damage on his car. The front splitter is destroyed. He will be having to make a trip to the pits, no doubt, on the next lap to fix that, because that car will not handle good after receiving that hits in the front. So very unfortunate after having such a strong run in the first couple of races. It's coming to an end for Tim Edgell in the reverse grid race. And still leading, Christina Orr, still out the front. Here's a replay of the action. Oh, which we didn't see the end of, but that was not looking good at all. Christina Orr still leading Paul Manuel. Hayden McKenzie there in third position as the cars stream through down to turn 5.
A lot of motor racing history in Southland, not just Burton Road did all this racing out on the beach, not far from Herewidi Beach, but obviously George Begg and those fantastic cars he built. In fact, the first thing I saw down here in cars was a Mark IV Cortina along the beach towing a piece of wood in the shallows. It was kind of like the poor man's wakeboarding.
Well, if you go down there, you might still see one of those happening currently. Here we go, the replay out of 5. Oh, Tim Edgell came across and, oh, brutal. Got hit by Clark Proctor, who was a bit out of shape, and has run across the infield, tearing that front splitter off his Falcon. Oh. Not a great way to finish his weekend.
Brutal. I shouldn't tell tales, but actually there was a rugby player came over here from Canberra and actually drove out to the beach one night after a game with a girl and parked, and you drive on the beach, parked there. They were talking to each other on the bonnet, and the tide came in and the car got left there. He ran into town. This is without word of lie. He ran into town. You've got
some great stories, Sean, I tell you.
Got shin splints, left her on the bonnet of the car. They went back, the car had floated away, and she'd gone too, but she was okay though.
It's a great part of the world down here in Teretonga.
Beautiful things happen.
So,
it must have come in quick, or they might have just been looking into each other's eyes. Who knows?
Hey guys, the good thing about this as well is that the championship, the round 1 contenders, Angus Fogg, Craig Baird and Johnny McIntyre, all line astern. Angus Fogg in front, so maybe he's punching a hole in traffic for those other 2.
But they still have got a lot of laps to go, obviously, and also a lot of cars to pass. They haven't made huge progress forward. Andy Booth has made some good progress in the last couple of laps, moved up to 8th position. There's still a lot of racing going on here. There's out the back of Darren Henderson's car, looking at Simon Richards, who's battling away, trying to get through. Andrew Anderson behind him. Some fantastic racing going on. Hayden McKenzie has got himself past Christina Orr. She's back to 3rd position. Manuel's out front.
Mr. Reverse Grid.
I wonder if he'll do a 360 coming onto the front straight on the last lap this race. I doubt it very much.
If he does, it's on me tonight, I tell you that. That'd be fantastic. Now, I know you're a bit of a renaissance man there, Mark. You've worked out on this iPhone. You've got up-to-date round results for us right through the race.
We have here currently Johnny McIntyre's leading the round from Craig Baird, but as it currently is, if it finishes now, Johnny McIntyre will win the round from Craig. But of course, a bit of work to do, and here's Johnny down the inside of John Hepburn.
No, that's I think that's Darren Henderson, wasn't it? But I think Craig Baird's actually lost a couple of spots, but the racing is still. There's Angus Fogg going past Dale Williams on the outside down the front straight, making another spot. So he's up into 10th position after that.
Yeah, Foggy, a very, very quick car. The fire-breathing LG Falcon, just look for it as they dump fuel in, and you see the flames on the overrun. It's a fantastic sight. Inspired by the V8 supercars, then you guys go and start running on ethanol and your flames disappear, Murph.
Yeah, we've lost something there, something a bit special that the fans love to see. But Foggy's keeping up his end of the bargain, there's no doubt about it. Hayden McKenzie not had the weekend that he would have loved to have had, repeating his performances at Ruapuna, but here in the reverse grid, holding that station in 2nd position as it stands. Paul Manuel leading quite comfortably at the moment, and unfortunately there's Tim Edgell. They've had to retire that car, obviously damage to the front, leaking water out of the radiator, and that's the weekend over for him. Such a fantastic weekend up until this point.
Guys, the dark horse in this race actually could be Nick Ross, because we know he had the speed in qualifying, and he's already up the 4th spot, and he is circulating very quick, so he might get in the flow of the traffic by himself and actually start making inroads into Paul Manuel and Hayden McKenzie.
As we settle into the final race of the day here on 3, 8 laps in, and it's Paul Manuel, Hayden McKenzie. They lead Ross, Christina Orr dropping back to 4th. And slowly but surely, well, not so slowly, but quickly, the faster guys are making their way through, but it's not easy in this class. They can make them very wide when they want to.
And of course, the other problem that the guys are going to face is that, unlike the other races, the further they get up the field, they're going to start getting competitors which are similar speed to themselves, so that progress is going to be somewhat halted the further they get up.
Yeah, this is a good bunch here that we're looking at here. Darren Henderson probably just backing these guys up a bit. Andy Booth looking down the inside of Andrew Anderson, the 2 teammates. Bit of a touch there. Very, very narrow. didn't get off the corner very good at all, having to slow those two cars down. Kane Scott will be looking for an advantage out of that one. And there's Angus Fogg right behind Scotty, trying to make some progress further up the grid, up the field, to get away from McIntyre and Craig Beard, obviously.
Boothie ducks under.
Boothie down the inside. This is a big move. The two teammates side by side around turn one. Who's going to come out on top? Anderson stays there the whole way through. Now Booth has put himself in a position. Kane Scott's going to look up the inside of him. It's going to put Booth on the outside for two, and there will be contact. No.
Tell you what, Kane Scott just had tunnel vision there, eyes straight ahead.
And here comes Fogg too. So he's going to try and muscle his way through after that move that Kane Scott made on Andy Booth.
There's a good battle going on here with Kane Scott and also Andrew Anderson, but it's protecting the future of the class. It's like any smart business, you've got to think of the future, and it's exactly what they're doing with the full manual car. So it doesn't have to be quicker or slower. It's what's going to be common next year in the championship.
Yeah, there's some big changes that I think need to be made to even these guys out and get both these cars out of the parity argument and have the Commodore and the Falcon on level pegging, and so, you know, more people can choose to have whichever vehicle they want, and it won't matter about the performance. So Angus Fogg, a bit of a loser out of that last couple of laps. Craig Beard, sitting in 10th position, has made good progress throughout the first half of this race and seems in pretty good shape to run to the finish.
And of course, but at this stage, where they are particularly positioned, Greg, Johnny McIntyre has to stay behind him, because the points difference when you get this far back is only 3 or 4 points. But of course, the closer they get to the front of the field, the bigger the difference is between the placings. So at the moment, just stay there. But if Craig gets up to 5th and 6th and Johnny is back 7th or 8th, then it's possible Craig will win the round.
Absolutely. So he does just need to follow through there, not do anything silly. Problem he has got is that car right behind him. Angus Fogg will be looking to get those 2 positions back that he lost only a couple of laps ago. And we know that Angus can be pretty tough. He doesn't give up, and he'll be looking for any opportunity he can to get past.
I suppose you're talking about that the way the season's going to be half over by the end of this race, that McIntyre can do a bit of a button. He's already won 5 of 8 races so far, so a couple more, and you're right, he's got that buffer.
But Craig Beard's proven that you don't actually have to win a race to be in the championship hunt, and of course his best place is 2nd, and he's only 68 points going into this round of the championship. So you've only got to keep circulating, and of course if Johnny does falter one race, bang, he's right there.
Kane Scott's made some pretty good progress in the last couple of laps. He's managed to move up to 6th position, get ahead of Simon Richards, so he's managed to get away from this pack and clear himself from the race that is going on here, and it's a very tight race.
You know what, a video car does not look comfortable. If you have a look in the back of it, if you watch it for the last couple of corners.
Oh, Angus Fogg. Did he manage to keep that car? Yes, he did. That was an amazingly late braking manoeuvre. He's now in the slipstream of Craig Beard. Johnny Mack up the inside.
It's good to see the respect these guys have got, because we've seen this happen in other classes and it's come unfolded very quickly. So, you know, these guys can race wheel to wheel, mirror to mirror, and still get through the other side.
That was a great shot. That was a great shot out of the back of Johnny Mack's car as Angus Fogg shot down the outside. Just goes to show where Johnny Mack had positioned his car to ensure that there wasn't a move up the inside. Kane Scott moved up another position. He is on fire, up into the 5th position now, ahead of Darren Henderson, and he's got Christina Orr in his sights now to move into the top 4. Still Andy Booth, caught behind his teammate. There's not much he can do about that at the moment. I'm sure he'll be getting pretty frustrated with not being able to get past Andrew Anderson, the ITM Commodore. These two guys trying to fly the flag for General Motors. There's Foggy down the outside one more time. This time he gets alongside almost Craig Beard. They give each other room. He should spin down the side here. Oh, Clark Proctor in the grass one more time. Finds his way back onto the straight. Kane Scott, one more spot. He's moved into 4th position. That's a great race by him.
He's kind of been the quiet achiever so far.
Oh, Proctor. Wow. Side swipes Andy Knight, moves him aside.
Guys, and actually give Martin Devlin another couple of black eyes like we've seen in the previous round.
I think so.
Because Andy Knight, I thought he looked like he was making some progress
Andrew
as well.
Anderson. That battle was going on between him and Andy Booth. That's at turn 2.
Interesting to see the replay of that, because I can't help but think there was actually a car down the inside, but whether it was Andy Booth or Craig Baird, I do not know.
Well, there's
We're about to
Craig
find
Baird.
out.
No, Andy Booth down the inside there. These two have come together. There's going to be some interesting chats in the AV8 pit after this one, unfortunately.
And that's another heartbreaker, because Andy Anderson's been quite impressive today. He's been the best mover of the Holdens, coming from the back, working his way up, and
Andy Booth was clearly getting a bit frustrated. That's McIntyre going slow. Now, what has happened there?
I can tell you what's happening. His lead is now down to 11 points for the round.
And that was before we saw this. This car's slowing dramatically. It still sounds okay, but...
He's obviously got a problem there somewhere as he got...
Whoa! Guys, we alluded this in the second race. These cars do have tyre degradation, and they do cheer up the right rear, and maybe we've seen a consequence of that.
It's the final race of the day here on 3, the reverse grid race. Aidan McKenzie and Nick Ross currently in second and third as Nick Ross moves into second, but further back, all sorts of drama we've seen lately for Johnny McIntyre. He's dropped well off the pace, and his lead for the round has now dropped to 7 points. It is slipping away for Johnny Mac.
Well, I think there's been some action maybe down at the last turn between Fogg, Baird and McIntyre. Fogg's been the beneficiary, and he's got ahead of Baird, and McIntyre's dropped back to 13th position. So there's been a bit of coming together or some descript, I think, between those guys. We haven't been able to see it, but a bit of a mix-up, no doubt.
Johnny Mac's had such great rhythm right through the day. Watching him go into that turn sideways, it seemed like it had all lost his mojo, I guess.
It's a difficult one. I mean, someone in his position with the championship lead, thinking about points. He's tried to play it as cool as he could. You've had, as I said, Angus Fogg still on a mission to try and go as far forward as he possibly can in this race and get as many points as possible. And maybe, as he goes down the outside again of Andy Booth, right round the outside, off the track this time. This will be interesting to see if Craig Baird can get a run. There's Andy Booth touching the back of Simon Richards. There's Craig Baird right behind Andy Booth in the toe, up the inside of Angus Fogg. What will Fogg do into turn 1 this time?
It's going to be interesting, though. Angus doesn't have any cars on the outside. Yeah, he's got a clean braking. Craig got caught in there, but what will happen with the Booth car? Will they bring him in for a penalty for rubbing into his teammate?
Not sure, but here's Fogg halfway through turn 1. He's still on the outside. Beardo should be right there somewhere. Fogg runs wide again. Baird on the outside. These two are going to go round turn 2, side by side. Who is going to get the advantage out of this one? Baird will move Fogg a little bit to the left and take the position back. This is amazing stuff.
Phenomenal racing, and get this is fighting for 8th place, but also for the round win. So this is crucial, this battle group. But I tell you, I'm never going to get tired of watching Angus go into the final turn.
Well, this time Craig Baird stays more on the racing line. Fogg follows him down into the last turn, has nowhere to go this time round. United Video Falcon straight to the inside. Fogg got off the turn very well. He'll move to the outside again, no doubt about it. Out of the toe. Can probably do another braking manoeuvre. As Craig Baird moves over, he's got in the toe of Simon Richards. Now he's boxed in. Fogg will have another crack. He is not going to give up here. This is fantastic stuff. This time he has to concede early in the corner, I think.
He has, you're right, Greg. It's the benefit now. Now, what can Craig do here? Craig has to get himself in front of Simon Richards as quick as he can, because if Richards short, Angus is just going to take that position straight back.
This is far from over. Only a couple laps to run, though, in this reverse grid race. The attitude on that LG Falcon is loose. He is determined.
And it is a very quick car, just looking up the straight there, the toe or not, it has wheels.
The other thing too, which Greg, I'm going to draw upon your expertise here, is that in a straight line, Craig is only allowed one move, and he naturally drifts over to the left.
Oh, he's down the inside of Richards this time. We're looking. It forces Fogg down the outside again. Who's going to get the run? Oh, these two guys.
Now, guys, remember, there is no love lost between these two from the final round at Pukekohe last year, so Retribution, who knows?
Well, Fogg's got the drag down the outside. Beard's got the toe from Simon Richards.
I can't watch.
It's going to be worth watching, I have no doubt. Simon Richards braked a little bit early. Fogg's gone right down the outside now. What will happen? Here, he's staying there, he's
going to live there.
There's the dust.
Beard's got an overlap coming on the exit of turn 1 down to turn 2. I think Angus Fogg may have pulled this one off this time.
This is incredible stuff. Two guys fighting like mad for 8th place, but also fighting for the championship, places in the championship, and in case of Craig Baird, taking the round from Johnny McIntyre.
Kane Scott having a go at Hayden McKenzie with only just over 1 lap to go. This is for 3rd place for this race, and it'll be very interesting to see where Kane Scott will end up in the points for today after this result. He's got a huge run down the front straight. Hayden McKenzie stays up the inside. He'll know that this is for 3rd. Unfortunately, he's had to give way to Kane Scott.
Well, Kane Scott, he's sort of been the quiet achiever in this race. We've been busy watching that battle between Fogg and Baird, but Kane has moved up and up and up. He's there into 3rd, and still though, winless this season. Incredible for the reigning champ as we travel through the final lap of the day. Paul Manuel leads. Now, I said before I couldn't watch that turn 1. Can we watch Paul Manuel on the final bend? What will he pull off? He's got a lead of 4.5 seconds.
Well, he might be going to win this race, but I'm sure, as I said before, he's not going to be happy with the position he's been put in to win this race. Sideways again, no 360. But at least he will take away something from this event. And as I say, they've got a bit of work to do for Timaru in a week's time.
Well, it's a Holden 1-2, but it happened in the reverse grid race. And Kane Scott, the best of the Fords, will cross the line in 3rd. But it looks like, as we watch Johnny McIntyre,
he's managed to recover a few spots there, Sean, towards the end. Obviously, I think there was an issue there between him, Fogg and Baird at one stage, and he out-drags Simon Richards to the finish to grab 9th position. So I don't think he'll be too unhappy with that.
I've never seen such a great race for 8th. That was just stunning back there. Ding dong for 18 odd laps, all of them together. Absolutely stunning stuff. What a great way to finish the day. So Paul Manuel gets his 2nd reverse grid victory of the season. It's a Holden 1-2, in fact, with Nick Ross in 2nd, Kane Scott 3rd, and what a great race it was further back. Angus Fogg finishing 7th, a duel there, one for the ages almost, with Craig Baird and Johnny McIntyre. Simon Richards in 10th.